Okay. Greetings, my fellow Mason fellows and the family and friends of the Masons. Before I do anything else, I do want to echo what Paulina said. I want to take the opportunity to thank all the people whose contributions, sacrifices, and effort have allowed us to be here today. So, Masons, will you please join me in giving a hearty round of applause to Paulina, Emma, Deb, the guest faculty. Masons, I remember about a year ago, I had the opportunity to speak to you as a group. And I remember at that time, I wore the same suit, although today I'm wearing a Harvard tie. At that time, I said to you, what an amazing, incredible group of people you were, and I could not believe I had the pleasure, the honor, and the privilege to address you. Of course, at that time, all that was a big lie. I only said it to be polite. I was pretending you guys were members of the Bangladeshi parliament. But a lot has changed since then, and I can say today, sincerely and truthfully, what an amazing and incredible group of people you are, and I cannot believe I have the privilege and honor to speak to you today. Today I thought I would talk to you about some of the things. Thanks, Emma. I thought I would talk to you about some things that make us Mason Fellows special. Very often I find that the other students in the Kennedy School underappreciate how awesome we are. When they look at the Mason Fellows, all they see is a bunch of old people with below average quant skills. But we know better than that. I'll give it 10 minutes. I'll keep it short and I'll just name 5 points that make us special. But I won't be taking questions after because I'm afraid of getting confronted by Vali. Okay, so point number one. Point number one, what makes us special? We have better stories. I mean, all of us have really great stories to tell. I don't have time to tell all of it, so I'm just going to pick on Haja's. Where is Haja? Haja has amazing stories. Yeah. I actually did not know how amazing Haja's story was at the beginning. All I knew was, at some point somebody said, there was a Mason fellow who took 10 days to travel from Madagascar to Boston. And at that point I thought, yeah, must have taken American Airlines. As it turns out, his journey was slightly more painful than that. It involved getting on a speedboat in pitch darkness in the middle of the night so that he could chase down a bigger boat that will allow him to sneak out of the country. And that is just one of his many amazing stories. Even the story of how Haja received his letter of acceptance to Harvard is amazing. Haja is a constant reminder to me of how boring my life is. Haja, if you ever decide to write a book, please think of me. And speaking of Haja, it brings me to point number 2 of what makes us so special. We have better names. I mean, I think it's very difficult to find another group of people where the people from China, Yin Yong, Ding Yen, Li Chong, have the simplest names. The rest of us try to make it pretty challenging for everyone else. And I'm going to try and rattle off a few names without looking at my list. We have Haja Raza Vinjatovo. We have one Katina Binti, one Muhammad Nawawi. We have Thomas Lamanauskas. We have Goljigito. We have Monica Harutunyan, who showed up here on the first day carrying a name card that said Maria Harutunyan. But when she introduced herself, she kept insisting everybody call her Monica, as if her name was not complicated enough. And then I have point number 3 about, let me see what's point number 3. I've written here point number 3, oh, it's Chooks for president. then point number 4. Point number 4, why we are so special. It's just because we are more important. We in the Masons are people of great gravitas. How do I know this? I know this not because we have important job titles like Minister of Finance, Minister of Defense, or future President of Serbia. I know this because there are some of us who refuse to open a Facebook account. They refuse to open a Facebook account despite heavy international pressure, threat of sanctions. Anyaka, for example, refused to start a Facebook account even though she knows without one she is forced to outsource all electronic communication about the future of Nigeria to Kanoko and Jasmine. And if I could be serious for a moment, I guess my last point number 5, about what makes Masons so special, is our unity. Over the past year, I feel like we, the Masons, have become more than just classmates. We have become a single cohesive unit. We rise and fall together. If one succeeds, we can all bask in the glory. If one of us is in trouble, then we all share the burden. If one of us gets a gallstone, we all have to go to the hospital. If one of us has a baby, we all have to give Sama $2. I actually once heard it said that who your family is doesn't only depend on what's in your blood or what's your DNA. The real meaning of family is the people who will stick by you. It's the people who have your back. And for me, that's really what makes us Masons so special. Because the bunch of us over this year, when we leave today, I know that we are not just part of the same program, we are not just Mason Fellows. We have become, after this year, one Mason family. And for that, I thank you all very, very much.
Well, today we celebrate your significant academic achievement, but not less importantly, the promise of a bright future dedicated to improving the lives of the less privileged.